Hello Summoners, I'm Adam Moriarty Isles, and today we will have the 9.8 update video, where we will talk about what we got right and wrong, as well as the Q&A portion. I want to take a quick moment though to say if you disagree with any of our placements for S and A tier on our tier list, ping me in our tier list discussion channel in our Discord in the link provided below with an explanation describing why you think it's wrong, and we'll even credit you in future update videos if we agree. Let's get right into the tier list update with the good news of what predictions we got right. The easiest one was the Sona Taric combo still going strong, so it seems like this stupidly easy to play late game duo is here to stay for a bit longer unless Riot comes down with the hammer. Vayne Top is holding steady with the nerfs to Bork, and we think she will do even better with more and more tanks coming in from the jungle role, so we expect her to stay A tier. Think of her like a Lucian top that actually scales and doesn't lose with a 10k gold lead. I can totally see Huni begging to play her next split. Fiora, Renekton, and Camille all received some quality of life changes that allowed Fiora to duel better, Renekton to teamfight better, and Camille to have better consistent auto attack damage. These changes allowed them to enter and maintain B tier, but not much higher due to the Bramble Vest buffs coming in on the same patch. Without some kind of itemization or further direct buffs like a completely new concept of allowing Renekton to somehow cancel his self-stun, don't expect these champions to reach A tier during this patch. Zed, as predicted, also took a hit from moving from S to A. He was simply too safe and consistent at snowballing. By nerfing his early game damage and mobility, it separated the good Zed players from the Zed players who were lucky enough to even pick him last patch due to his ban rate being so high he might as well have been sent to the Shadow Realm. Whenever a champion's early game mobility and damage are nerfed in the same patch, you can reliably predict that they will drop on our tier list. Silas. Nautilus is really good into squishy or mobile champions like Nami, Sona, or Jinx, who are very popular at the moment. With the buffs to his CC and damage, he was rightfully placed in A tier from B, as his ability to punish these kinds of meta champs, including Thresh, got even higher. Now for the stuff we got incorrect. Nautilus' increased kill potential actually got so high that it helped him in the solo lanes to the point that building him AP is actually viable. Who knew? Now if you remember the hype that happened around Jungle Nasus when it first came out, we believe it's something similar happening with Nautilus mid and top lane. But this time it's actually pretty good. Instead of YouTubers playing it 10 games in a row until they finally won once to make a video about it like they did with Nasus. He should have been placed B tier mid lane and B tier top lane. We will continue to keep an eye on him though to see if he deserves to be placed higher. Kayn, despite his buffs, is performing worse this patch and should have been placed in B tier rather than A. This is likely for a couple of reasons. The first being Ross got worse with the busted Bramble Vest, while Assassin is terrible versus Rammus or some of the other tanks that have risen in popularity. Last but not least, people just suck at Assassin Kayn due to less practice on him and the inevitable flame you receive from your teammates for choosing that path over Ross. Some small changes are Sivir actually being S tier rather than A, as she has similar strength to Ashe and can perform well in a meta with melee champions, Singed due to the direct buffs, and Trundle Jungle due to his buffs and being a counter to many popular tank junglers such as Rammus, Sejuani, and Nunu. For jungle at the moment, the role has many S tier champions that even though we increased our tier limit to include some of them, such as Amumu and Rammus, we should have included the others as well, which were Hecarim, Nunu, and J4, who are all S tier worthy. I don't expect a massive amount of top tier picks in the jungle to stay for long, as potential scuttle changes on the PBE should change the jungle up quite a bit. Junglers will have to find something new to complain about though, and my suggestion would be top lane, cause what do those guys ever do for you? For the Q&A portion, Tom Newman on YouTube asked, can you explain why ProGuides put Amumu in B tier while you put him in S tier? Sure thing, answering that question is completely within my powers. One big potential reason for that is ProGuides has one list for all ranks while we have two. The reason we made two lists from the beginning was because we had trouble ranking champions who performed amazingly at most levels of play, but not at the highest level of play. Due to having two lists, we were able to properly rank Amumu's power without having bias towards him for not performing extremely well in Challenger. ProGuides, on the other hand, does not have that luxury because they only have one list. They were wrong as shown by Amumu's fantastic stats over the last week, as Amumu received buffs to his itemization as well as his kit, which helped him skyrocket in win rate along with the fact that he's easy to execute, so anyone can pick him up. Vang and I'm Baby from Twitter say, Rek'Sa, Ivern, Nunu severe skill floor, smiley face, followed by really hard for Rek'Sa and Nunu to repeat press W at bot lane. To those comments I'd say, it's all relative to the video game itself. I've been a StarCraft 2 Grandmaster Zerg player, and the mechanics needed for that game were harder than the raw mechanics of League of Legends, just like how the mechanics of StarCraft 2 were much easier than those of Brood War. In that sense, any champion can be made to sound easy and brain dead, because it's all relative. Twisted Fate just hits W and targeted stuns, Azir just hits W and moves his soldiers around, and Ryze can just hit W, EQ, EQ, W, RQ, or whatever combo he has, and then either he is dead, or Ryze is dead. When thinking about skill floor, ask yourself if you really want someone first timing that champion who has never experienced the kit before. Do you really want a Rek'Sa who has never dealt with the reduced vision and tremor sense? Do you really want an Ivern who has no idea how to clear his own jungle? And a Nunu first timing is more likely to W down mid lane than he is bot lane. These champions might not be super mechanically intensive, but they have unique abilities and play styles that need a couple of games to learn, and that's why they have higher skill floors in League of Legends. Jace135 from Discord asks, also, why isn't Irelia on the low-ELO list while Fiora and Yasuo are? This one is fairly simple. Both Fiora and Yasuo, even if they don't land their full kits, for example Mist Tornado for Yasuo or Riposte for Fiora, they can still kill people. Irelia before her nerfs was like this as well. Most people barely even read her abilities but were still able to get solo kills or pentakills after missing her ultimate. Irelia post-nerfs though is now forced to use her full kit sometimes, aka landing her skill shots, to kill people, making her far worse at lower levels of play. Reamsy from Discord asks, why is Jax S tier every time on the low-ELO list? Can't understand why, even tried playing it. To answer that, Jax is a jungler that has a lot of strengths and multiple win conditions that lend themselves well to lower levels of play. The first being that he scales very well with gold, which is great when game times are longer, and he can self-funnel by picking up minions crashing into tower after his teammates die because no one else will. The second being that he can solo objectives because no one else will. The third being that he can land CC easily with his counter-strike and set himself up for a gank because no one else will. He can both teamfight and split push, giving himself win condition options because no one else can match his split push from the jungle for the most part. Etai27M from Instagram asks, why isn't Tahm Kench on the support tier list but I see him banned or picked at pro play? This is a great question. Tahm Kench in pro play is used to enable a mobile carry such as Ashe or Varus to play aggressive and forward without the risk of dying. You would think with how often solo queue AD carries play too far forward, Tahm Kench would be a great pick to help them survive. But here's a little known fact about League of Legends. People know that the abilities can scale off of AP, AD, and max HP for certain champions, but Tahm Kench also has what's called teamwork scaling on his abilities. Teamwork scaling is kind of like Shen Ultimate, where it works better with the more coordination and communication that you have. If you attempt to play Tahm Kench without the proper level of teamwork, due to him being at a lower skill level, or your teammates just haven't played with a Tahm Kench in a while, then that champion can backfire really hard. An example of this is eating someone when they might get a kill, thus resulting in your AD carry flaming you. Or your AD carry playing too far forward expecting the Tahm Kench to flash W to save them, only to see the Tahm Kench flash W a minion, then spam taunt and his mastery. He is just too inconsistent as a support for solo queue due to his teamwork scaling being too high with his ult and W. Thanks for watching our tier list update and Q&A video for 9.8. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below or come to our Discord server with the link provided where you can ping me in our Discord discussion channel. Don't forget to try out Mobalytics today at mobalytics.gg, and I'll see you summoners out on the Rift.